and had to deal with the train. So I'm happy to say that as soon as I got into office, I went to work with our Public Works Department, and I met with Union Pacific to have a discussion, dialogue, and talk to them regarding the trains in our community, honking at all hours of day and night. The issues having to do with the trains parking on the railroad crossing, stopping there, and backing up traffic. That concerns me because then it becomes a public safety issue, emergencies, paramedics, fire trucks, having to find alternative routes in order to get to the house that they're trying to get to or building they're trying to get to save someone's life. So when we were talking, we had the discussion, I began talking to them about the first phase, the first step, so to speak, the honking of the horn. And I met with the Public Works Department, as I have mentioned to you, and met with our council, with the city manager, and let them know that making sure we can convert our railroad crossings to quiet zones was a priority of mine. So I'm happy to say that within Public Works Department and the city's budget, we were able to secure about $400,000 to put towards railroad quiet zones in District 5. But in addition to that, I went to Union Pacific and asked them how they would work with us on this project to support the community, work with the community. They do business in this community, so we need to work together in a unified effort. Now, I'm happy to say that we've been able to get to $1.2 million together, Union Pacific and the city, to ensure that we convert our railroad crossings to quiet zones in District 5 so we don't hear any more honking of the trains in our neighborhoods from May moving on forward. Our children need their sleep. They need to get their rest so that they can make sure that the next day when they're at school, they're alert, they're productive, they're able to have an opportunity to do the best that they can, to make the best grades that they can, so that they can graduate from high school, be able to go on to a college, a university, and to be able to succeed in getting that education so that they can get good paying jobs once they graduate from college. But you know what? If they're not getting their rest or their sleep at night, chances are they're not going to be awake at school. So this is a priority of mine. Also ensuring that our senior citizens can get rest in the evenings and throughout the day at times when they're just disturbed because of the honking of the horn. So on Frio City Road, from Brazos down to Malone, there will not be any more honking of the horns through that area. In addition to that, Medina and Zamora, down to Ceralvo and Hamilton, all the way down to General Hutnell. There will not be any more honking of the horns in District 5. We're going to be placing additional infrastructure improvements so that nobody is able to cross those railroad crossings. We'll put additional lights and additional arms so that our community is safe, but is also able to improve the quality of life here for our residents of District 5. And like I mentioned earlier, I remember as a youngster growing up in the area, teenager, middle school, and high school age, we were always at the park. And we were always playing basketball. I know my friend Daniel here can vouch for that. Right, Daniel? Palm Heights, Collins Garden. We grew up together. I know I see Ray Ortega, very, very good man, a leader in this community. Grew up with his boys, Ruben, Rene, Ray, and Roseanne. We all grew up here in the area within District 5, and we all played basketball and football throughout our community. And whether it was over at Burbank or playing against other schools in the area, I know there was Lanier, Memorial, Kennedy, Brackenridge. All of the youth in these communities utilize the parks. They go out and play basketball, football, tennis, soccer. I mean, you name it, we played it. Well, when I got into office, I wanted to make sure that our parks were up to speed. But in addition to that, also do improvements at our parks. So I'm happy to say that for District 5, I was able to secure just a little bit over $2 million my first term for park improvements in District 5. And we're going to continue moving forward the second term to improve our parks from this time on. So, I'm also happy to say that we've been able to partner and work together with companies, with the private sector, with corporations, also with nonprofits, to be able to ensure that if there's an area where a park needs an improvement, we have partners that come in and we work together to ensure that we make those improvements and we see them come to pass to ensure that our children, the next generation, has good, safe parks to be able to go and grow up in and spend time in, but at the same time, our families can go and barbecue, have a good time, spend family time together, quality time. That is what we need in our community, and by doing that, we will also work to be able to decrease the crime rate. We will work towards giving our kids an opportunity to succeed in their life, to go on and do whatever it is that they wish after they graduate from high school. Go to college, start a company, go on to serve their community possibly. Every child in this community has that opportunity, and they should have it, and I'm going to be here to fight, to make sure that the kids in this community are safe from this day forward for this second term.